In the heart of Chicago, near the cold waters of Lake Michigan, there was once a hole so massive it swallowed hundreds of millions of dollars. Locals joked about it, workers feared it, and online some people started calling it the Dragon Hole. But was it just a failed construction site or something deeper, a symbol of ambition, collapse, and the risks of chasing impossible dreams? Tonight, we're telling the story of Chicago's most mysterious hole in the ground. Chicago has always been a city that builds higher than anyone else. After the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, the city rebuilt itself using steel and innovation. This is where the skyscraper was born. Over the next century, Chicago built some of the tallest towers on Earth, became an architecture capital, turned building height into competition. Developers wanted one thing: to build the next world record tower. In the early 2000s, one project promised to change Chicago forever. The Chicago Spire, planned height nearly 2,000 feet, one of the tallest buildings ever planned in the Western world, designed by famous architect Santiago Calatrava. The building would twist like a spiral, a glass tower rising from the lakefront like a futuristic sculpture. Luxury condos, global attention, a symbol of American economic power. But first, they needed the foundation. Construction began in 2007. Workers dug deep into Chicago's soil, deeper and deeper, until they created a massive circular pit about 350 feet, 35 stories deep, diameter of 33 feet, wide enough for two semi-trucks, length of about 109 miles of tunnels, capacity of 17.5 billion gallons, wide enough to hold multiple houses. The drain, absolute McCook and Thornton reservoirs. This was supposed to hold the foundation for one of the tallest towers on Earth. But then, everything changed. In 2008, the global economy collapsed. Banks failed. Housing markets crashed. Developers lost funding overnight. The Chicago Spire project ran out of money. Construction stopped. Workers left. Machines were removed. And in the middle of one of America's greatest cities, they left a giant hole. For years, the hole sat there. Rain filled it. Snow filled it. Sometimes it looked like a dark lake. Locals gave it nicknames: the bathtub, the money pit, the billion-dollar hole. Online forums started calling it something darker: the Dragon Hole, because it felt like something that had eaten a dream. There was never an official Dragon Hole, but the name spread online. Why? Because the story felt mythical. A giant hole, a massive failed tower, billions lost, a reminder that even giants can fall. Some conspiracy forums even claimed secret underground construction, hidden tunnels, government projects. There's no real evidence for any of that, but stories grow in places like this. By the time everything stopped, hundreds of millions had already been spent. The hole became a symbol of overconfidence, real estate bubbles, economic collapse. For years, developers argued over what to do with it: fill it, build over it, leave it. Eventually, new developers took over the land. New projects were proposed. Eventually, construction restarted on new towers for the site. The hole that once symbolized failure became a second chance. But many locals still remember it, and some still call it the Dragon Hole. What Dragon Hole really means: the Dragon Hole isn't really about a hole. It's about ambition. It's about risk. It's about what happens when humans try to build something impossible and reality pushes back. Because sometimes the biggest monsters aren't underground. They're economic. Chicago tried to build one of the tallest towers on Earth. Instead, it built one of the most famous holes in American history, And maybe that's why some stories don't need dragons, because real life is already unbelievable. Thank you. If you enjoy real business mysteries and urban legends, subscribe for more, because sometimes the biggest stories are hiding in plain sight.